Hi family. I would like to talk to you today about how do we make our dreams come true. Now, I know that we have all experienced loss or failure or pain at some point in our life. And if you haven't, then you might not be living. So if you have experienced those things, and that means you're living, you're learning, you're growing, you're being a human. And that's all part of our journey and our purpose here on earth is to learn and grow and learn from our mistakes and come back better and stronger, right? And so my question to you is, how do you pull yourself out of those places or those moments when maybe something happened that wasn't so great, or conflicts at work or in personal relationships, or just pain or stress, financial issues, whatever you're dealing with? How do you pull yourself out from those negative, painful circumstances, and how do you get through it? How do you become happy again? And one of my tips or advice that I love to share with people is that no matter what state you're in, no matter how you're feeling, nobody can control your feelings but you. And there's always a way to raise your frequency or raise your vibration or to feel happier no matter what's going on. And so I like to sit with the pain and look at it and accept it and understand and say, okay, what led me to this point? And accept responsibility for your active role in your suffering, whether it's my role of not leaving a situation sooner, right? That's something I have to accept responsibility for if I was suffering in that situation. Same thing with the job, same thing with personal relationships. Or is there anything, look inward and say, is there anything that I've done that contributed to this painful situation? And if so, how can I fix that? Apologize, say you're sorry, accept responsibility, fix it, you can. And that character growth alone will raise your frequency and raise your vibration, make you feel really happy. And then the next step is, after I've looked at it and accepted it, is to then see, okay, how can I make myself feel happy right now? Sometimes it's as simple as just going outside for a walk and breathing in the fresh air, looking at nature, hugging a tree, standing barefoot on the beach in the sand, earthing, sun gazing, watching a sunset or a sunrise, hugging a loved one, listening to music, dancing, singing, drinking some tea, journaling, reading a book, watching a movie. These are some of my favorite ways. Riding a horse, running on a horse is really fun. Great way to raise your frequency. But I encourage you, when you're in those moments, right? So something happened in your life or at work or with a relationship, and you're feeling that pain, feel it, feel into it, cry it out, accept your role that you played in it, whether it was a minor role or a large role or a small role, it doesn't matter. Just look, when you take ownership, it helps you not feel like a victim. And it helps you realize that, okay, I'm not just helpless in the world with all these things happening to me. I chose this situation. I chose to stay in this situation, or I chose these words or this response or this action. And when you accept responsibility, it helps free you from that feeling of being a victim, because you know that, okay, there was something I did that I could have done better or differently. And maybe this isn't victim blaming, but there is a power that comes through victims acknowledging that there are things that we could have done differently, or that we all could have done differently, that would have led to a better situation or a better outcome, right? Listening to our intuition. So those are things that I have to look at and say, oh, if I would have listened to my intuition, if I would have left that situation sooner, if I would have spoken up sooner, all those different things, I could have helped ease my suffering. And there's such power that comes in accepting responsibility, whether it's small or large. And then of course, as a perpetrator too, that's something else we have to look at. But, as someone who maybe caused an issue, looking at it from that perspective as well, accepting responsibility. Once you accept responsibility, then go out and do something that makes you happy, raise your frequency. And you're not going to want to. You probably won't want to go outside or go run or go do these things or sing or dance, but happiness is a choice. And when you choose to get up and move through that painful situation and choose to feel happy and do something that brings you joy, you might not feel ecstatic when you're in that pain, right? In that painful situation, but you'll feel better than you did before. And so I encourage you, no matter what's going on, especially if there's suffering, or especially if you're feeling some kind of pain or sorrow, I encourage you to do the inner work, look inward, see what you can fix or change in the future, and then go do something that makes you happy right now, something that you love. I encourage you to make a list of all the things that you love to do that make you happy, and do one of them every day, or do 5 of them, or do 10 of them every day. We schedule time for work, we schedule time for, travel, we schedule time for others and doing things for others, but what if we schedule time to check in with ourselves, to do something we love, right? So I encourage you, check in, do something that you want to do, whether it's for an hour every day, put it in your calendar. For this hour, I'm just going to do things I love to do that make me happy. You'll be better at work, you'll be a better spouse, a better partner, a better parent, better in relationships. And imagine if everyone in the world was doing things that they truly loved to do, then this world would be heaven. This world would be a perfect, happy, wonderful place. So I really do encourage you to do something that makes you happy. And if you continue doing things that make you happy daily, following your passion, following your purpose, doing things that you truly love to do, you'll have less of those painful situations in your life, and you'll feel fulfilled and you'll feel so much happier. And then if a painful situation does come, you have the tools to move through it and you know what to do. The key is to not get stuck there. The key is to always move through, to sit with it, feel it, cry it out, let it out, accept responsibility so that you can focus on solutions, then focus on the solutions, and then start doing them. Do things that make you happy. So if somebody's rude to you, I encourage you to go have some tea and go sing and dance, and you'll feel great. I love you. I'd love to hear from you, your tips and advice. How do you raise your frequency? What do you do to make yourself happy? How do you pull yourself out of a painful situation? I can share, I'm actually at Shop HQ at work, and then yesterday I was going through a painful situation flying here, and I had to push and pull myself out of it. And these are the ways that I did it. So I looked inward to see, what did I do wrong? What can I do better? I accept responsibility for my role in this. And now what are the solutions? Do those solutions, focus on those solutions, and remove yourself from situations or people that are continually negative, right? I say, of course, life happens, but if you're in a job or in a relationship where there's more negative than positive, then it's time to move. It's time to move on, because I can tell you, once you step through that door, behind your greatest fear is your happiest life, right? So if you feel some fear over leaving that job or relationship, that might mean that it might be time to do it. So I encourage you then to do those things that make you happy, raise your frequency, do things that you love, schedule time every day to do things that you love, and your life will transform. I love you.